The Phantom of the Opera is here, inside your mind.
Wait a minute.
Hope you guys enjoyed that. The Phantom of the Opera is regarded as the greatest love story that nobody has ever read. Except me. I read it. I did it. I read. Upon that, I've also decided to watch various upon various adaptations of the very singular source material. And some of these got freaky. I'm talking...
Your female smell flows through my veins like the melody of the rolling ocean.
Many people have done videos on this, but you have decided to click mine. Let's get started by examining our source material, and we will learn a little bit about the author. But if you don't want a book summary, I'll give you a TLDR, which is, why the fuck are you watching a comparison video if you don't want to learn about the source material, huh? Never mind, that was kind of mean. If you do want a book summary, basically, deformed guy lives under the Paris Opera House in 1880s France, and he falls in love with the singer there, and basically traps her under the opera house until her lover rescues her, and then it sparks the question, oh, is this love or lust, basically? And then that's the book. That's all you need to know about the author. The Phantom of the Opera was written by a French author named Gaston Leroux, who was initially planning on becoming a lawyer, only after frivolously spending all of his inheritance on gambling, as any Frenchman would. He decided to become a reporter, and within his work consisted of critiquing dramas. Later, when returning to Paris, where he would become a writer, as we know today, and his second novel being The Phantom of the Opera. The Phantom of the Opera was first published in segments in the daily French newspaper at the time, which can definitely explain why some chapters are literally a few pages long. Which made me think, like, how do you publish so many words in the newspaper? But then I saw the newspaper and there's no pictures in it at all. There's no pictures, just words, and so many words. So I could see how they put like a fragment or two of a book in it. And we're going to get started about the book finally. The original piece of work, we are told the story of the Phantom of the Opera through the investigation of our narrator 30 years after the initial incidents. That our narrator is dead set on finding proof of the phantom that did exist, even starting the entire prologue in these few words: the opera ghost really existed. He is thought not so being a spirit that actually haunts the opera house, but an actual haunting person of sorts. Our main characters that we have to remember that are going to be repeated over and over and over, so we better get it in your head early. Christine Daae, Viscount Raoul de Chagny, and our man of the hour, the Phantom, aka Eric, aka the Angel of Music. We will refer to him in those three little names. In the 1880s, at a gala set for the retirement of our old managers, chaos suddenly breaks loose when the ballerinas claim to have seen a mysterious opera ghost. Moments after the incident, a staff member is found dead, hanging on a noose in the third-floor cellar beneath the opera. Ooh. Although his death is assumed suicide under natural circumstances, when people arrive to the scene to retrieve his corpse, they can find no evidence of said noose that he was hanging on. On the same evening, Christine Daae, a little-known Swedish soprano singer, replaces the sensational opera diva Carlotta after she suddenly falls ill. Christine enchants everyone with her magnificent voice that is so powerfully angelic she almost ends up fainting on stage. The public remains astonished, wondering where has she kept this sensational voice all throughout, and why hasn't she performed before? But amongst the member of the audience, Viscount Raoul de Chagny, who was Christine's childhood friend and deeply in love with her. I'm telling you, in this book, he is definition OG lover boy, like... You'll see why. He is deeply in love with her and tries to visit her backstage. However, Christine pretends not to recognize him. That's suspicious. That's weird. She pretends not to recognize him and quite literally laughs in his face when he introduces himself. "Monsieur," she said in a voice not much above a whisper, "who are you?" "Mademoiselle," replied the young man, kneeling on one knee and pressing a fervent kiss on the diva's hand, "I am the little boy who went into the sea to rescue your scarf." Christine again looked at the doctor and the maid. All three began to laugh. Raoul turned very red and stood up. After leaving and practically stalking Christine out of her dressing room, Raoul hears her talk to a man's voice in her dressing room that is supposed to be empty, and just Christine there alone. The man declares his love for her. Christine pleads to this man's voice that she has given him her soul. Christine, you must love me. And Christine's voice, indefinitely sad and trembling, as though accompanied by tears, replied, how can you talk like that when I sing only for you? And the man's voice spoke again. Are you very tired? Oh, tonight I gave you my soul and I am dead, Christine replied. Absolutely overcome by jealousy, Raoul waits for Christine to leave so that he can investigate her dressing room and confront his new rival. But after managing to enter her dressing room after she leaves, he completely finds it desolate to his surprise. Meanwhile, said ghost is writing to the managers, telling them to meet his demands like the previous owners did, such as paying him 20,000 francs a month. So he doesn't kill anybody, basically. He doesn't do shit. 20,000 francs a month, and that's a fuck ton of money. That is a fuck ton of money. And keeping box 5 in the theatre empty for his pleasure viewing. Oh, and this is like a really condensed summary of the book, and I'm giving you the juicy little pieces that actually serve the plot, because the majority of this book is just the Phantom and the new managers. It's just the Phantom fucking around with the new managers, and honestly that should be the love triangle of this book. The managers shitting themselves over being like, oh, it's not the ghost but it is, it's not the ghost but it is. That is the whole entire 60% of the book. Also, when names appeared like M. Richard and M. Montchamin, I'm thinking that everyone has the same exact first name starting with an M. The same way my name starts with an M. And I'm not knowing that fucking M before the surname means fucking Monsieur. I'm thinking everybody just has the same fucking name. Anyway, back to the plot. Christine writes to Raoul claiming she does not remember who he is, but yet informs him she's going to be visiting her childhood home where they met. I don't know why you would tell him that if you don't want him to meet you, Christine. She's going there to celebrate the anniversary of her father's death, who was a talented violinist back in the day. Later on they meet up and Raoul confesses her love to her. Did your father tell you that I love you, Christine, and that I cannot live without you? Christine blushed to the eyes and turned away her head. In a trembling voice she said, me? You are dreaming, my friend. And she burst out laughing, and she just laughs at him again. He travels all the way there and she's just like, you're silly, my friend. But then after that, I don't know why Raoul is still there after she laughed at him again. She tries to explain her situation of hearing a man's voice in her dressing room, where she confesses she has been visited by the angel of music that her father used to tell the stories of when they were children, and the angel gave her singing lessons in honor of her father in the dressing room. Raoul just fucking laughs at her back, but then he's like, oh, you're for real. You're not crazy. You're for real crazy. Yes, the other evening, it was he who was talking when you were listening behind the door. It was he who said, you must love me. And when I thought that I was the only one to hear his voice, imagine my astonishment when you told me this morning that you could hear him too. Raoul burst out laughing. So she leaves after being gaslit by this man. Oh, my nose. Guys, that's my nose on me. Later on, Christine sneaks out to the cemetery to go visit her father's grave while Raoul discreetly tails behind her. Christine reaches his tombstone and stretches out her arms. She stretches out her arms to the heavens while a violin plays in a tune of which her father used to play. Raoul's like, fuck it, I'm gonna find out who's playing, and hunts the person down that was playing such hypnotic tunes to induce Christine. And the Phantom, who was playing the violin there, snatches Raoul's coat. And Raoul comes face to face with a face of a skull, with burning eyes of fire. And then he fucking faints. The Phantom does not fuck around. Back in the opera, the new managers are left to task with abiding to the Phantom's deals. Box 5 empty for his viewing pleasure, which makes them lose a lot of money because that's a really good box. And making Christine the lead in Faust. Faust is going to be mentioned so many times. It's an opera where the scientist makes a deal with the devil to have eternal youth, where he falls in love with a woman named Marguerite, and they want Christine to be Marguerite. And if they don't comply to the Phantom's request, they'll be so sorry. Ooh. But the managers don't give a fuck and don't abide to his rules. Those people are all making fools of us. Firmin Richard ended by exclaiming, it will be Faust on Saturday. Let us both see the performance from box 5 on the grand tier. here, having the diva Carlotta as the lead. They themselves sit in box number 5. And resulting in the Phantom causing Carlotta to have her crow. What the fuck was that sound? Crow. She loses her voice. She loses her voice to make her croak like a frog while singing. And then the Phantom drops a fucking chandelier on the audience. Wrong fucking people. Like, it was the managers who didn't listen to you and you're killing the innocent audience? After that life-threatening incident, Christine is somehow nowhere to be found. And Raoul makes a trip to Christine's adoptive mother to pry out some information about Christine. And she informs him that she is with her angel of music. Frustrated and confused, Raoul calls this woman crazy. You're telling me you're coming to my house to find out about my adoptive daughter and I tell you you're gonna call me crazy? Raoul hates women, and he believes that someone is trolling Christine initially with this angel of music shit. And he feels torn on whether to pity Christine of being taken advantage of or to fucking hate her for playing with this time. I don't know why you're still going after her, bruh. She laughed in your face twice. And we find out that turns out Christine was kidnapped by the Phantom during the chandelier incident. Was kidnapped by the Phantom, aka Angel of Music, aka Eric, who we come to find out his real name. Who here has been described in the book of this sort of resurrection of a human being with a cadaverous-like face, malnourishingly pale and just a bag of bones and skin at that point, with a head that has deep black holes for eyes, a black pit for a nose. Hey guys. Along with jarring, fiery yellow eyes to accompany his hideous figure. Christine was confined to his lair situated underneath the opera house for 2 weeks until she was finally able to convince him to set her free, after infamously tearing off his mask, and he gets unbearably fearful that she is about to leave him and seeing what he truly looks like underneath. He lets her leave under the condition that she will wear his ring and be faithful only to him. One night, Christine and Raoul meet up. That's a good idea to do after he told you only to be faithful to him. Hey Raoul, hey Christine, let's meet up. They meet up on a rooftop and she tells him everything about the angel of music her father promised her again, being her tutor in music because of his sweet, angelic, hypnotizing voice, which has been teaching her how to get her singing voice back. Raoul finally finds out that their love is reciprocal and wants to whisk her away from this horrid place and to never come back again. Meanwhile, the Phantom is fucking listening the entire time. Shocker. You go to where the Phantom lives to talk about the Phantom, of course he's gonna fucking hear you. I'm sorry, Eric, like, at this point you're just hurting yourself by listening to how much they love each other. Honestly, that's all it would take for me to end it all if I... Look like I have a beard. So Raoul immediately hatches a plan to escape, like right here, right now. And Christine suddenly objects because she said that would be too much and potentially emotionally harm Eric with such grief, and therefore she must sing for him one last time. And then they plan to escape after that single performance, which leads us to the most heartwarming pieces of literature ever fucking written. Raoul at once threw himself on his knees before her. He swore to her that he would go, and he entreated her never again to withhold a single hour of the ideal happiness which they both had promised him. She let her tears flow. They kissed like a despairing brother and sister who have been smitten with a common loss and who met to mourn a dead parent. I had to read that. I spent money on this. I spent money on that. The night of the escape finally dawns upon them, with Raoul even over-prepared and getting into an argument with his brother Philip about marrying Christine and running away with her because she is simply a mere opera singer. As the evening progresses, all dreams are utterly shattered when Christine is captured mid-performance, falling through one of the millions of trapdoors on stage and not knowing how to get her back. Raoul desperately teams up with a man called the Persian. He weirdly doesn't have a name, his whole personality is being Persian, who knows extensive information about Eric, and they go way back. I'm talking like this motherfucker Eric was in Persia being an illusionist and an assassin. That's fucking scary. He was entertaining royalty in India with his executions, and he was even building the fucking opera house that he resides in. So they don't stand a fucking chance catching him with these millions of trapdoors that he's elaborately and intricately weaved into the opera's structure. How were they going to maneuver? Surely it would be impossible to enter. So they enter into his house underneath the opera house and managing to enter through his torture chamber. Honestly, best place to be in. They can't make it out, but luckily Christine and the Phantom are right next door to them. Eric is threatening for Christine to marry him or he will kill everybody, including himself. You know, that shit still happens today, so modern romance did not fall far. Ready to die for her love is about to say, fuck it, I wanna die. But after some persuasion, she agrees to become his bride after discovering when he means killing everyone, including himself, he plans to blow up the entire fucking opera house with barrels upon barrels of gunpowder hidden right below them. When she agrees to his arrangement, she asks him to let the Persian and Raoul go, and he lets them go, but not before drowning them for a bit. Later we see Christine become this quiet and committed wife of Eric. Eric removes his masks and shows some affection by kissing her forehead. Christine starts to sob, and love-starved Eric is delusioned to the point where he thinks that this is a sign of Christine's true love, that you love me so much that you cry. His very warped perception of relationships. Yes, she was waiting for me, erect and alive, a real living bride, as she hoped to be saved. And when I came forward more timid than a little child, she did not run away. No, she stayed. She waited for me. I even believe, Daroga, that she put out her forehead a little. Oh, not much, just a little, like a living bride. And I kissed her. And she did not die. Eric is deeply moved, but unfortunately for him comes to the realization that he can no longer realistically keep Christine captive against her will until the day they die. And honestly, good for you, bro. Good for you. Finally granting her dream to escape with Raoul. He still has one condition for her though, that she makes the promise to put the ring that he gave her on his finger when he dies. Years later, after everything, Christine being free, the Persian free living in Paris, Eric decides to pay the Persian a visit, looking more malnourished and cadaverous than usual, and he explains in exhausted, dying breaths that he is dying of love. Where are Raoul de Chagny and Christine Daae? I'm going to die. Raoul de Chagny and Christine Daae. Of love, Daroga. I'm dying of love. That is how it is. Loved her so, and I love her still, Daroga. I'm dying of love for her. I tell you, if you knew how beautiful she was, and when she let me kiss her, alive, it was the first time, Daroga, the first time I ever kissed a woman. Yes, alive. I kissed her alive, and she looked as beautiful as if she had been dead. And I'm not going to die yet. Presently I shall. But let me cry. Listen, Daroga. Listen to this. When I was at her feet, I heard her say, poor, unhappy Eric, and she shook my hand. I had become no more, than a poor dog ready to die for her. I mean it, Daroga. Oh, this nose. The infection. Later, when he eventually succumbs to his death, the Persian puts an announcement to the newspaper that Eric is dead. Imagine the people reading that being like, who the fuck is Eric? Oh, Eric on First Street. Oh no, he died. Oh, and then Eric from First Street is like, guys, I'm still alive. When the narrator later discovers a body under the opera house wearing a ring, he realizes that Christine has obeyed the Phantom's last dying wish, and his body serves as undeniable proof that the Phantom of the opera truly did exist. What is the moral of the story? You can't take women underground and force them to love you. I tried it once. So now that you understand the main plot of our source material, we are going to see this adapted and transformed and sexualized to many varying degrees. 1912, Das Phantom der Opera. It's said to be the very first adaptation of the Phantom of the Opera, only like 2 years after the book came out, but unfortunately is considered lost media. There is not even a single image, frame, still, poster, piece of dialogue, piece of script, anything. There is nothing about this adaptation that has served the test of time that we could see that it actually exists, and yet it still has a fucking rating on IMDb. Like, where did you guys watch this? It doesn't exist. 1925, Phantom of the Opera. It says this is a musical, and I really wonder how they're going to make this work since this is a silent film. There's no music. There's no fucking music. They only added music to later versions of it when they possibly could. It's just music in it. It's not a musical, guys. Don't say that to me. But there are multiple cuts and multiple versions of this movie. Some with sound, some with color, some half the length as what it's supposed to be. So I just opted to watch the longest one I possibly could, which clocked in at like an hour and 40. The movie stars the legendary Lon Chaney. You've seen this man. You've seen this man and you didn't know it was him because he has the name of a man of 1,000 faces because he acts and does his own makeup for every single monster movie he's been in. He starred, he did the makeup, and he even co-directed this movie. We open up with the Vicomte Raoul de Charny and his brother attending the opera house for a showing of Faust, with him and Christine already being in a relationship on the verge of engagement. Doesn't seem that way because every woman that pops on screen, he gotta pop his pussy for them. He gotta fucking look at them. Raoul here more leans into his military background that is briefly mentioned, but Raoul in the book is essentially a rich boy that owns property. We have this little explanation card telling us that Christine has risen from a chorus girl to a prime prima donna thanks to her teacher. The managers here are giving up ownership and are informed about the ghost in box number 5. Carlotta receives a letter from the Phantom telling her not to sing, and if she does, there are dire consequences waiting to happen. Christine goes back to her dressing room and talks to the Phantom. He basically just fluffs their egos and tells her that she will be replacing Carlotta, like, don't worry, my dear. Christine reveals to Raoul about her circumstances with her master, aka the spirit of music. You can just say angel of music. Telling him that the Phantom has instructed her to put her career first and that she cannot ever stop singing. Raoul gets very fucking mad because he thinks this is some stupid joke, you know, women putting their career first. Only minor changes to how scenes take place here. They sort of chop everything together to save time and budget, which is completely understandable. The managers try to snoop around for evidence of the Phantom, and they just end up shitting themselves. Christine is on stage and faints due to exhaustion, carried off into the dressing room, and this is where Raoul attempts to meet her for the first time in the book, but we all know he just gets laughed at. And this is basically where the book starts. Raoul attempts to comfort Christine, but the thought of the Phantom inevitably haunts her, and she tells Raoul to leave. Get out! We get the dressing room scene of Raoul hearing the man's voice and tries to confront him, but he looks fucking crazy. Here we get our first member of the crew member, Joseph Bouquet, found hung in the cellar props. Carlotta gets another letter from the Phantom, who's kind of just chilling in her closet like, pew, here's another letter, Carlotta. Pew. He just like throws them at her. And basically in these letters tells her to shut the fuck up and never sing again. She rebels against it and decides to sing out of spite. The Phantom appears during the performance and is claiming Carlotta's singing is so horrible, it's gonna make the chandelier fall down. And then boom, it falls down. Raoul hides in Christine's dressing room and we get the mirror scene, basically the Phantom commanding her to come down with him. And after she sees his mask, she's like, oh, what the fuck? And I watched this with my friends. You know, a silent movie is great to watch with your friends. And the uncanniness of his mask really fucking creeped everybody out. We're just like, why is he looking like that? Stop it, stop looking at me. He's not even doing anything, he just looks like that. And so they really did their job right. If you're scaring people in 2024 over a mask like that. Shout out to my friends, I love you. Oh, that looks wrong. And she very stiffly faints on his horse. And we finally enter his lair through boat. His abode being more of a studio apartment here. Damn, he kind of freaky sniffing her like that. What the fuck? This is our only first adaptation and you guys are getting freaky with it. You're getting too bold. You're getting too bold is what I'm seeing. He confesses love to her after sniffing her down like a fucking drug dog. Oh, you smell good. And at this point, they're just being kinky with it, calling him master every single other second. They didn't even do that in the book. They only talked about master keys in the book. They talking about master keys in the book, and you guys turning that around to be like, master. Shut up. I don't like it. Christine discovers the coffin he sleeps in. Very funny. And finally puts 2 and 2 together, being like, oh my god, this is my angel of music. Oh my god, this is the Phantom. Then boom. It's Eric, bitch. And she realizes he is the Phantom of the Opera. And guess what? She faints again. Let's go. Christine faint counter. This is like, what, number 2? He puts her to rest in a fucking gorgeous boat bed. Oh my god, fuck a car bed, fuck a princess bed, I want a boat bed. Word gets out about Christine's disappearance. She wakes up the next day and she discovers some of her belongings in his house. Along with a letter from Eric that explicitly states she is fine unless she does not touch his mask. And you already know what she does.
Oh my god, you know what? This is really scary. Oogly boogly, bitch!
And this reaction here is said to be genuine, for Lon Chaney kept his deformed face an absolute secret. There was not a picture of him that was taken by paparazzi beforehand in the newspaper. Not even the crew knew what he looked like because he always kept it to himself. Enraged Eric now keeps Christine as his permanent prisoner. She pleads out of love. And then he just releases her. Permanent prisoner, my pussy. But if she tries to pursue anyone romantically, he will kill them both. Christine, you have one fucking rule. Please listen. And then we cut to Christine inviting Raoul to the masquerade. At the masquerade, we have the very first interpretation of the very dramatic Red Death scene. It's a reference to the Edgar Allan Poe short story. And everyone pisses himself because he is so cunty. He is so cunty. Whereas in the book, everyone just kind of gawks over him and like touches him, weirdly enough. And Christine is like, oh no, Raoul, don't let him see us. Keeping your mask on could prevent that. If you guys had a mask, it like would prevent that, right? And she tells him everything that's happened while the Phantom listens like a fucking loser. Baby, we've been through this. And they decide to escape to London tomorrow. Why not now? You could just swim there. It's like a hour swim from Paris to London. We cut to the next night where they've prepared to have everything to escape. I'm not jealous. I didn't wish that were me. And oh my god, the Phantom knew the whole time. What? No. What? No. What? And kidnaps Christine during her performance. Frantically searching for Christine, Raoul has a more in-depth meeting with the Persian who has been just sprinkled like lurking around here. And it's revealed that this isn't the Persian. This is just an undercover cop. R.I.P. Persian. This is an undercover police who has been studying Eric, who he is an escapee from Devil's Island, so they have him on record. He instructs Raoul to do exactly what he says, and he finds the button that opens a secret door in the mirror, and he gives him backstory of the Phantom that we already know of. Saint Eric confined himself down the cellar during the Second Revolution, instructing Raoul to keep his hands up to avoid the deadly nooses that could go around his neck, where Raoul struggles to do while searching for Christine, but in the book he struggles to hold up a gun the entire time. He's just like, oh, Christine, this is too hot, oh my hand, oh my god, my hand. They make it down to his lair while being scared by the rat catcher. They fall into his torture chamber room, and Eric is right next door to Christine, expressing his betrayal and how much he wants Christine. He's demanding his love for her, whereas in the book I feel like it was more delusional. Like, this motherfucker is, give me what I want, and then the book is just like, Christine, you do love me. Eric gets notified of an intruder and has to deal with him. Very politely, I hope. Eric, are we gonna be polite this time? Eric comes back. Christine still tries to look for the keys. He catches her and finds Raoul and the policeman and tortures them with irritating heat. And let me just say, this room situation was a bitch to visualize in the book. You're telling me this is a room with 1,000 mirrors and it's African Sahara desert themed, dry land, whatever the fuck, and there's a fucking big metal tree with nooses hanging down, like what the fuck? And on top of that, the book spent multiple pages of describing the hallucinations that Raoul and the Persian, but here the policeman, endured during the heat. They're like, no bro, there's an oasis, no, we're like in a safari right now. Multiple pages. There's a girl on the other side deciding fucking life or death for you right now, and I have to know exactly about what you're hallucinating? I don't want to know. Thank you for every adaptation for cutting that shit out. It was not good. So while they're getting high off heat, a mob starts to form outside Eric's lair in revenge for the staff member Joseph Bouquet, which he killed earlier. The pair find the basement below with gunpowder and get trapped. Eric presents Christine with the options of saving Raoul by becoming his wife, or just getting blown the fuck up. Girl, I swear to God, if you do not pick to marry this man. And this is where we start to throw the book away entirely. Phantom snatches Christine again, but this time flees to escape. He's got that GTA shit in him right now, stealing a carriage. A mob chases him, and then he fucking drops Christine? You just fucking drop Christine? He continues to be on the run without her. He gets cornered and stomped out by the mob. I like to think they only stomped him out because of this dumbass joke he pulled. Christine and Raoul smooch. The end. The original first draft of the script was like dead ass reading the book. It was like, if you don't want to read, you can watch. It included the cemetery scene and the true backstory of Eric being in Persia, and even giving backstory of Eric's deformed face, which was a punishment. His face was eaten by ants. I don't know, that's just like, okay. Oh, my nose got eaten by ants. But through production and budget costs, they clearly couldn't do that. And they opted to explain everything with 1 or 2 pieces of dialogue. Christine and Raoul already being engaged, which they probably did to kill time and not have to develop, oh, we gotta go here, talk about our feelings. Oh, we gotta go here, talk about our feelings. They're just like, okay, you guys fuck with each other. But that kind of kills like half the melodrama in it, because it's like, I love her. I love her. They changed the ending here because they thought the original one was too boring. And I'm sorry, am I the only one that liked it? Am I the only one that liked it? Huh? I'm sorry, I like a little bit of romance. Dying of love. And then you ask for her to come back to put the ring on your finger. Have some romance, would you? Have a heart. Have a heart. Phantom of the Opera, 1943. 18 years later, we have come face to face with another adaptation, now in color and sound. And from the poster, I can see his mask is green. It's green. It's not fucking green, they lied. But it is funny looking. This is an adaptation of the first film, which is like a 90% accurate of the book. So it's like, how far can we whisk away from what we were meant to do? In this adaptation, we have Eric. Eric? He is a normal person, physically speaking. Here he is a violinist at the opera, and he comes to the realization that he is losing mobility in his left hand, causing his work to suffer, costing him his job. That anybody would think like, you have enough money to retire, right? You work in the opera. But not for our Eric, who is unreasonably obsessed with soprano Christine Daae. Christine Dubois. Weird name change. Who he, for her, has spent his entire life savings to give her singing lessons anonymously. Christine has Eric on her ass. She also has Raoul, who is an inspector here. And she also has a cast member involved in this little love harem. I suspect a harem. She has a reverse harem, basically. And I'm sorry, this is like a poor attempt at a hollow love triangle with stupid comic relief. It's so stupid. I'm sorry.
Au revoir, Christine.
Au revoir.
You've been most helpful, Christine. After you, monsieur. After you, monsieur.
Eric Rick has no money, and in an attempt to scrape by, he offers to sell his music. After getting ignored by the publishers because he's an unknown composer, he sneaks into the office and once again gets brushed off to the side by a man so he can diddle his young girlfriend. She claims he cannot find his manuscript once he simply hears somebody play his shit. He's like, thief! Thief! He announces thievery by simply hearing somebody play his piece in another room. And they were even talking nicely about him, being like, this shit kind of good. Who is this? Oh, fuck yeah. And even hoping to publish his work. Enraged Eric strangles and kills the publisher, then gets acid thrown on him. Like, girl, the fight's over. You didn't have to throw acid at the end. The damage is done. Like, he's dead. She really just did. Oh, I'm gonna get you. Running away from the police, Eric finds rescue in empty sewers. No, don't go in the dookie water. No, you have acid on your face. Don't go in the dookie water. We cut to the managers reading about Eric in the newspaper.
Age 48 years, height 5 feet 8 inches.
Oh, American measurements in a fucking film based in Paris. Like, let me guess, a ticket to the Paris Opera House cost like, what, $10? Like, I was really annoyed with these overly American accents they were all having. This shit was just like, girl, you're really too scared your audience is going to be confused by a measurement? Shut the fuck up. The managers get notified that costumes and masks are missing. I wonder who that could be. Along with some food.
There's missing a bucket of pickled pig's feet in vinegar.
Pickled pig's feet. Bruh, I know you at this point you're choosing to struggle if you're stealing pickled pig's feet. Like, temper, it cannot be that bad down there. Why are you making it worse for yourself? And one manager insists that it's the opera ghost, which implies that a legend of an opera ghost existed before this Eric inhabited the opera house. So he's kind of just filling in someone's shoes. He's like, boring.
What is the opera coming to?
We get Christine serenading with her man. Oh, you thought that was Raul? Me too. She has a type. Twin, where have you been? I know we're in Paris, but I feel like Christine wants a different kind of Eiffel Tower. Raul informs Christine and her other man about Eric. They find a head bust of her in Eric's room.
This is yours, Christine.
You're giving it to me?
Yes.
I don't know why you're giving it to her. It's kind of evidence. During a performance at the Opera House, the Phantom drugs prima donna Bianca Caroli. Fuck a Carlotta then. When she literally just looks and acts like Carlotta. I don't know why you think the name change is necessary. And tells Christine through the walls that, hey, you're gonna do amazing, sweetie. You know, babe, you're gonna do so great out there. I prepared everything for you. And they try to replicate shots of the first movie with Lon Chaney, but it just feels misplaced. Like, you don't know what you're doing here at this point. I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you. And thus Christine replaces Biancacelli on stage and dazzles everyone with her voice that the Phantom has paid all of his life's savings to achieve. I don't know. And everyone is smiling ear to ear because she has main girl character syndrome. Like, oh my god, we all just love Christine. Oh my god, Christine. Biancaroli accuses Christine of drugging her, and they come to the decision of forgetting all about this if Christine becomes her understudy, and then no newspaper shall ever speak of what happened. And then the Phantom kills Biancacelli and her maid. The owners receive a letter demanding them to replace the dead Biancacelli with Christine, and Raul sees this as an opportunity to lure the Phantom out by making Christine not sing that night. No points to them for actually singing in French and Russian, but did you have to mention where I live? Did you have to mention the small fucking town in which I live in? The Phantom sees that Christine is nowhere to be found on stage and is not singing, so he decides to cut the chandelier. And bruh, you should have done this a day or two ago. Like, you're not getting anywhere with that tiny ass fucking sword. Oh. Fuck whatever I say, huh? He steals her away, and during all the commotion, pretending to be one of the undercover agents because they're wearing the same masks.
Nothing matters except you and me, Christine. Now you'll sing all you want, but only for me.
Oh shit, we're back to the plot, and we're so loving, so interesting. Wow, what a great movie.
You didn't know we had a lake all to ourselves, did you?
Of stinky doo-doo. That is a doo-doo lake. Eric hears his music being played and plays along with them while Christine is singing, which allows Raoul and his twin to locate them. And then they try to squeeze in an unmasking scene, but I mean, at least the makeup looks good, but they're just like, oh. Just like, oh fuck, we have to do it. Like, then everything just starts to crumble down for no fucking reason. And they escape, and Christine has the absolute fucking audacity to be like, oh, I pitied him. No, what?
Somehow, I always felt drawn to him with a kind of pity.
You did not feel pity for this man at all. You were scared of him. You shit yourself in front of him. And I was like, I feel pity. Shut the fuck up. This won Oscars, by the way. Just feels like a product of its time. It did not stand the test of time. I didn't like it. It just fills in the bare bones definition of what a movie is supposed to be. There's no melodrama. There's no horror. It's just wish-washy, like, bruh. Accuracy like 40%. Never mind, I'm putting that shit to 25% accuracy because what the fuck was that? What? Pissing me off. As a movie, no thank you. Summarizing this and getting clips was just enough for me. No thank you. I don't ever want to watch this again. The Phantom is just a basic crazy guy going after a girl with nothing to offer, nothing to manipulate her with. Like, oh, I bought you singing lessons. Like, what? They tried to make a sequel out of this. They kind of did, but not really, because they had to rework the script hella, because like nobody's like, he's dead, why would we make a sequel? But it's funny how the guy they originally wanted for this movie starred in the sequel, and when I saw that man, I'm like, that is the Phantom. That is that long haunting cadaverous face that we fucking need, and they just put him in a shitty sequel. And that man, you know who that man is? That was the Frankenstein. Like, he could have had a double fucking whammy, bro. The Phantom is just like, I'm crazy. And in the original script, they wanted the Phantom to be Christine's father and gave up Christine to pursue music. And that's why he's so obsessed with her. But I don't think that could even save it. This shit's taking so long to film because somebody keeps deciding to fucking climb shit she shouldn't climb. And then when I get you out of my fucking door, you start fucking me out. I don't want to do this to you, but get out of my room. Phantom of the Opera, 1962. 9 years later, we get another one, baby. Can you see me sweating? Stop it. And the poster for this goes hard. This one has the same plot as the previous one, but it's a little bit more scary because they're British. And I don't know why they keep naming it fucking Phantom of the Opera if we're not gonna use the fucking plot of Phantom of the Opera. Why do you do this? It's just a remake of the previous one, and it's just a money grab. But anyways, after a murder takes place in the opera, one of the main singers refuses to sing there again. And girl, they said this was gonna be a horror. And Christine Charles, she fits in the role for the previous singer, but not without a cost. The Phantom warns Christine through the walls about the man Ambrose, and makes her promise that she must only sing for the Phantom. Ambrose is involved with the production and the casting of the girls. He invites her to a dinner and obviously wants to diddle her. But luckily during the dinner, handsome man Harry... No, not that one. And she's able to escape with Harry. And on the way back, she tells him about a voice she heard in her dressing room. They go to the dressing room... And the Phantom tells Harry to fuck off. Bug off.
Get away from here. Get away.
The Phantom here does not sound creepy and ominous at all. He just sounds like he woke up from a shitty nap like, oh, get away. Oh, no. Oh, don't do that. I can't stop touching my fucking nose and it's not supposed to be. It's so itchy. And the rat catcher gets killed by the Phantom's henchman. Boo! Boring pussy! You're not even cool enough to do your own killings! Boring! Harry goes to investigate and leaves Christine. Oh no! I hope nobody snatches her away into their stinky doo-doo water lair down below the opera house. But thankfully nobody does. Okay, good, that didn't happen, but she does faint again. And the Phantom's mask here is so reminiscent of Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw Massacre. If this wasn't what inspired it, I don't know what the fuck did. Oh my god, put a fucking... Oh... Just hit the fucking nose. Oh my fucking god. This dull, ash-like flesh mask on his face, only letting a single eye peep through, makes it all the more uncanny. You've charmed me.
Useless. No good at all.
Let's see you get on that fucking stage, Preminger looking ass. So Preminger... I mean Ambrose, kicks off Christine because she didn't want to diddle him earlier. I don't think any woman with eyes, ears, or a soul would, which makes this all the more disgusting and a more power-abusing dynamic which we haven't seen in previous ones. Harry discovers a story about a fire that happened in a publishing house that killed a music professor and goes on to investigate, finding out that in fact nobody did die. Ooh. Finding out that the music professor was splashed with acid while trying to kill the fire and ended up burning, and according to the police, he ran away in agony, drowning himself in the river, but the body was never discovered. You know, police doing their job just like they do today. Christine faints once again. Christine faint count 5. And gets carried away by the henchmen to the Phantom's lair. No! Don't go in the dookie water, no! You have this entire furnished lair. All you have to do is add one fucking stepping stone and you won't have to go in there. You have an organ in your room and you can't conjure up the thought to put a little plank so you don't have to step in your little doo-doo water. And the Phantom makes a deal with Christine that she will be a great singer.
Greater than the greatest.
And only sing for him. I do like how uneven and rigid everything it is in his lair. It gives it much more realism. But then we cut to a scene where it just feels like they ran out of the budget. Why is everything millennial grey? And why is there only one fucking chair in the room? And they just like scatter around these vintage furniture pieces in hopes that it looks old. Christine sings to the point of exhaustion and we get some classic 1960s I hate women.
I can't.
You little fool.
No, don't give her the stinky doo-doo water. No, don't do it. No, don't splash the stinky doo-doo water, no! Meanwhile, Harry is investigating about the musician we covered earlier. The police are just like, bro, look how strong that water is. He didn't survive. Harry, unsatisfied with the answers he's received, decides to investigate for himself and delves down to investigate further when he hears Christine singing. On his way down, he gets into a fight with the shit water-loving henchman. Harry confronts the Phantom about his identity and reveals the backstory about his music getting stolen by Ambrose. And in an attempt to burn all the stolen copies of his music, he got acid spilt onto him. And his escape, the Phantom begs to teach Christine to properly use her spectacular voice so he can finally hear his musical the way he's wanted all along. The Phantom confronts Ambrose, he tears off his mask and shits himself. Christine performs the Phantom's song the way he wanted, and, you know, because they're all of a sudden besties now. Then the chandelier falls, just because, no reason, just, like, it just happens. No eerie warnings, no tense build-up, just and the Phantom swoops in to save Christine, then just fucking dies. Accuracy like 35%. As a movie, it's better than before. The Phantom is just hollow again. You know, the main story that it's about, the fucking Phantom, you just make him hollow again. 1974, Phantom of Paradise. Phantom of Paradise. I wasn't even going to include or watch this one because I'm like, just by the looks of it, it looks like it strays so far away from the original plot. But then I thought, why not? I got so tired of the previous two adaptations that I was just like, fuck it, I need something new. This one has the same plot as our two previous movies, but also combining the opera Faust, which was mentioned earlier, which was also in the Phantom of the Opera. And if you're a funky LGBTQ and the sort of funk that likes the Rocky Horror Picture Show, you're in for a ride. I'm not gonna lie. We open up with the record producer, Swan, along with his right-hand man that are scouring for new talent for his new concert hall. Oh my gosh, this movie's so fucking camp. They overhear Winslow's melodic, sappy song, and they're like, fuck, we need that.
Give me back the gift of laughter.
I love you, lesbian Elton John. But they're not gonna bother giving him a job, let alone a good deal. So they basically just steal his music. I can't even begin to tell you how fun this editing is. And look at the set design of these offices, so crispy and delicious. Winslow attempts to get in contact with them after radio silence on his music, and they politely escort him out. Then he sneaks into Swan's private mansion where he's holding auditions for singers. Wow. Holding auditions in your private mansion. I wonder what could go wrong. He's auditioning to diddle them, by the way. That's how they get the job. Winslow meets Phoenix along the way, who is the perfect person to sing his music. She hates this audition. Fucking leaves, like any normal person should, bro. Winslow sneaks in as a girl.
You remember me, I'm Winslow Leach.
Get this fag out of here.
Okay, never mind, he tried. Fuck, I have to do my first apology video now. I am sorry to the LGBT plus community for recommending a movie that has the F slur in it. I didn't laugh, I promise. I am sorry for my ignorance in such a harmful film. Winslow gets beat the fuck up and then gets framed for drugs, landing him in Sing Sing prison.
But I'm innocent. Swan stole my music and framed me.
I'm innocent, I tell you. Where his teeth are removed and replaced with metal. My main goal is to blow up and act like I don't know nobody. He hears his stolen song played on the radio and goes fucking berserk. He escapes. Look how he fucking escapes. Goes straight on a rampage, zooming around Swan's office, breaking into the record printing room, causing him to get a little too crazy. He got a little bit too crazy now, and gets his fucking face deformed, including killing his vocal cords. Plumps into the river, where all the phantoms do. They just fucking fall into the river. And fuck yeah, spinny newspaper! I haven't seen one of these in ages! I can't remember the last time I seen it. Can you? Because I can't. And in this fun POV, Winslow steals costumes and immediately goes on terrorizing Swan's production in a good old-fashioned way. With a bomb! Swan sneaks into his secret lair through a mirror. Shit, this is the closest we got. Welcome back, Destiny. Winslow tries to attack Swan and it backfires.
Oh my God, you're horrible.
Swan finally offers him a fucking job. If only you did that in the first place, we could have avoided all of this. They hire Phoenix. My God, anytime a song plays, you are going to hear the entire 3 minutes and 30 seconds of it. When someone opens their mouth, it is a full-length fucking feature song you are going to listen to. Not just a, okay, you get the vibe. No. Winslow now gets his voice box and signs a contract with Swan so he can produce music with Phoenix in mind for the lead. Signs the contract in blood just for Swan to break the contract. The Phantom completes his worst. The Phantom completes his work fast, and Swan replaces Phoenix with the pill-popping, sex-appeal-dripping Beef.
There's something.
I smell like beef!
Show them, Beef! Show them who you are!
Swan, this was scored for a check. I'm not doing it in drag.
You can sing it better than any bitch.
He has a record-shaped desk, bruh. Swan is not fucking around with his music. And fun fact, the man that plays Swan in this movie actually scored the movie. Swan steals Winslow's music. Ah, who would have thought? What? Crazy, he didn't do that before. And he traps Winslow Looney Tunes style. He builds a fucking brick wall in his room to trap him.
What was that?
But Winslow somehow escapes and approaches Beef a la Psycho, threatens him to never sing again.
Never sing my music again. Not here, not anywhere. Do you understand? Never again.
And Beef knows his worth. Beef values his life and he tries to leave. But then they force him to sing anyways. We get this fun-ass fucking performance where they rip the limbs off of the people in the audience. They don't do shit like this anymore, bruh. We need to make cocaine good again so people think of movies like this. The Phantom hits Beef with a lightning neon sign, which is supposed to be our chandelier. Phoenix gets her time to shine thanks to the Phantom's antics. Swan now preys on Phoenix and promises her fame and fortune.
And all I want is your voice.
Is that all?
Ew, what the fuck? Oh my god. What the fuck? But now Phoenix is okay with Swan putting his hands on her. And it's like, fuck what happened in the beginning. Fuck you having morals. Fuck you respecting yourself. Now you're like, he can touch me. What? Free! 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 The Phantom whisks Phoenix away to the rooftop and reveals his true identity. She freaks the fuck out from his hostility and flees. We cut to Swan and Phoenix getting freaky. I had to watch that whole thing just so I don't miss any of the plot so I could tell you about it. That was the scariest thing out of anything I've seen in this whole fucking time. It was them getting freaky, and then she started sucking on his titty. And honestly, Winslow, what the fuck are you doing watching as well? You know, me watching this is more than enough. Why are you here watching? Why are you cucking yourself? Why are you watching somebody else get on your girl? Winslow fucking kills himself. Honest reaction, I wish I could have done that too, but then I couldn't have made this video. And then just to rub salt in the wound, Swan tells Winslow that he cannot die unless Swan himself dies because he signed a blood-written contract with him. And the Phantom just tries to fucking stab him, but Swan is like, did you not listen? You can't kill me.
Do you know him? Well, we went steady together in high school.
You're old enough to be his mother.
This was taken 20 years ago.
My God, he doesn't look any different.
Ah, yes. The curse of looking 40 at 16 years old. We learn that Swan and Phoenix are set to marry. Oh my god, they're both birds. And here Winslow learns about the pact Swan made with the devil for his eternal youth. Ah, just like Faust. The Faust that Winslow is writing. Isn't that crazy how everything kisses and connects? So he makes a pact with the devil for eternal youth right before attempting to kill himself in the most vain, Hollywood-esque way possible by filming it and being like, I guess I'm gonna kill myself.
If I can't be young forever, I'd rather end it all. Now.
And he will remain youthful forever unless the videotapes of this very contract is destroyed. And Winslow destroys it. We cut to the onstage wedding of Swan and Phoenix. The Phantom. The Phantom put a stop to the planned assassination Swan put on Phoenix, but I don't know why the fuck he did that. I watched this movie like twice. I'm gonna watch it again to get clips, and it just doesn't make sense since her contract and Winslow's contract they signed states that they cannot die unless Swan dies. So why is Swan trying to kill Phoenix when she cannot die? When she cannot die unless Swan dies? So, I don't know. Why are you trying to kill her? I don't even know why he's trying to kill her in the first place. Does he just not like her? The Phantom saves her from a bullet to the head. It swoops into this belladonic haze of coke. The crowd is consumed by coke and I can smell it. And he snatches off his mask and Jesus, oh my god, he just got, stop, don't do a close-up, stop. Winslow finally gets his chance to stab Swan on live television. And after this, I was so fucking lost. I could not comprehend anything. So I've sourced Wikipedia for plot summaries to save me, and is Wikipedia plot summary save me. Wikipedia plot summary, if you can hear me, please save me. With the help of Mr. Wiki, turns out while stabbing Swan, Winslow reopened his wound that he had earlier, then dies shortly after. And while on the floor, while dragging himself around in deep desperation, Phoenix finally recognizes him when he's been like the most distorted. And then we cut to the credits. I was gonna recommend this movie to watch when you're high, but after that ending, I don't think I would ever want to get high. This movie actually did awfully when it came out in the box office, but on the other hand, it was very critically well received, and it did gain a cult following, specifically in a tiny Canadian town called Winnipeg. It's so beloved there that they actually made a documentary of how much the people, specifically this little place, of how much they love it so much. And that's like really fucking cute. Accuracy is like 0%. So not a single name, place, or event had drawn any parallels to each other. Maybe I'll give it 1%, because a man falls in love with a woman and he's crazy about music. I think I scored this one a bit too low because all of the similarities are kind of hidden. And watching it for like the third fucking time, I'm like, oh, dunk, 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 I see that. I'm gonna put it up to like a 10 or 15. I'm gonna put it at a 10. 10% accuracy. It follows just like the shitty movies that came before it, so it's like we're adapting Phantom of the Opera movies, but the Phantom of the Opera movies just fucking pulled shit out of their asks. Why you even name yourself Phantom of the Opera if you're not gonna follow the plot? But as a movie, fuck yeah. I'm back. New Phantom, who this? No. Let's get back to where we were. Phantom of the Opera, 1989. Oh, you thought this was Freddy Krueger? Bitch, me too. It's the same motherfucker that plays him, and they don't even try to disassociate from that to be this completely new separate horror character. They're just like having such slogans as like, he was Freddy. Now in an all new nightmare. Get it? You don't even try. Oh, I see lights. Something tells me we're not in the 1890s Paris anymore. We're in New York, baby. Starting in present day, we're greeted with two girls stumbling upon an opera.
Don Juan triumphant.
I think you mean put your pussy into it.
Christine.
Ah, Christine. We get some backstory on him.
I mean, composer by day, serial killer by night.
Christine does not give a fuck that he was a serial killer. And while Christine sings his new music, ooey gooey blood starts to pump up from the pages. Or did it? We cut to her taking the piece for an opera audition for Faust, then gets knocked the fuck out by a sandbag. And now she's a Londoner. She's now in 1980s London, and she fills the traditional role of Christine now, that we've come to know, and is now the understudy for Carlotta. And in this version, the Phantom doesn't have a mask, unless you count the one he makes out of his victims. Oh wow. Then he has a mask. And here, he just kind of speaks in this Joker accent, but with a dad sense of humor. It's bizarre.
It was an accident. But you blamed me. You're suspended.
After killing the man that let the sandbag loose, we head over to Christine's dressing room, where they are already acquainted with one another.
Who else, Christine, but your teacher, your angel?
Oh my god, just say Angel of Music. Stop edging me right now. They say Angel of Music in the book. You have the copyright properties to say Angel of Music. Please just fucking say it. Say it. He commands her to sing with all of her passion.
Like an angel.
Of music? And she absolutely delivers on her singing. And this is the first time we see Carlotta that's blonde and not Italian.
Perhaps they'll brighten up this rat's nest you call a dressing room.
That's her dressing room? That is not her dressing room. That is the bathroom of Barbie, Princess and the Pauper. That is not a dressing room. You cannot fool me. Oh my god, I tripped in blood. I should investigate. Head ass. And these slow motion cuts, bro, they have me dead. I have not touched this at all. What the... So instead of our traditional passive-aggressive notes written in red, we get skinless victims dripping in red. See what I did there? And this causes Carlotta to completely lose her voice.
She says it's the Phantom's work. This was no phantom. This is the work of an artist. An artist who works in the flesh.
Get it? While watching the performance of Faust, the Phantom is reminiscing about his past that is absolutely mirrored in the play right before him, when seeing Dr. Faust sell his soul to the devil, seeing that he was a talented but unknown musician long ago, making a deal with the devil but at the cost of his face. Then he snaps out of it when his angel Christine sings, and they kind of snapped with the lighting. I'm not gonna lie, they do this very classic 1960s bright mirrored light on the face to accentuate how they look, and great fucking colors too, I'm not gonna lie. And this is the first time we actually see him paying for his box, so the managers can't get mad. And then guys, we're on a roll here, like what could go wrong? After her standing ovation, Christine decides to celebrate with supper with her fiancé, Raoul. I mean, Richard Dunton. And he gets immediately jealous when she talks about her unknown singing teacher. Meanwhile, to celebrate, The Phantom decides to freak a prostitute while calling her Christine.
Christine.
My name is Maddie.
Men are so romantic. Then we get this. Jack the Phantom killing people.
I think I'd rather die than subject myself to that shrieking child for another evening.
As you wish.
Then he gets revenge for the man that gave Christine horrendous reviews about her standing ovation performance the other night. And Christine gets so distraught about her reviews, she just gets the urge to see her dead dad. She got one bad review and was like, no, I have to go see my dead dad. And for the first time, we get the cemetery scene on screen. That's crazy. And the Phantom emerges as a shadow-cloaked violinist and literally blocks Raoul out of it. I mean, Richard Dunton.
Your father has sent me. I am your angel.
Of music. And honestly, the lighting here is so good. We get these reminiscences of the original Phantom and his outfit and silhouette, cutting to us being smuggled away deep into his lair, and it looks sick, bro. This looks sick. She comes across his Don Juan Triumphant play and asks him to play it.
There is nothing you could ask that I could refuse.
Aww.
Christine, you are my inspiration to finish it.
Aww. And she sings the exact same song she sang in the beginning of the film. And the Phantom is like, fuck man, I need you right now. And places a ring on her finger and forcefully claiming her as his bride.
You love the music. I am the music. Our souls are one.
No!
Now, you are married to the music.
I'm married to the music. I love Shani. Shani, I love you. Shani, I love you. I love Shani. We get to learn about Eric's past and how he inhabited the opera cellars for decades and skins his murder victims to use as his own skin. And the only way to destroy the Phantom is to destroy his music. That's fucking corny. I don't care if it's supposed to be a reference to Faust, it's fucking corny. Christine somehow resurfaces back and realizes she has to make a run for it, but then decides to attend the masquerade. The Phantom spies on Christine and Richard's encounter at the ball and becomes infuriated to hear about her plans to leave, then decides to turn Carlotta into soup.
Carlotta! Wow, even better than Mama!
Book Eric is like, I've killed them. I don't care. I'm crazy. I killed them. You know, whatever. They're like bugs to me. This Eric is like, I'm gonna skin you alive and wear your skin on my face while I turn you into soup in front of all your friends and admirers. Then after his culinary success, he steals away Christine. And Christine's acting here is so bland. She has no personality whatsoever. It's so bland romance. It's just shit happening on screen. And it's mostly just Phantom gimmicks like, oh, look what he did. And there's no built-in anxiety whatsoever. Why did you do this? Then the rat catcher. He rats out the Phantom's location to catch him, because that's what he does. He rats out on people to catch them. Get it? Because he's a rat catcher, but he's really the rat that's catching people. There's nothing in here. And it's like, no! Don't run in the dookie water, please! And guess what? He catches the rat catcher for ratting on him. But again, the rest of the crew find the Phantom's lair.
Christine, watch your skin.
And after extinguishing Richard's existence, get it because he's on fire, the Phantom drags Christine back to his fiery hell, but then gets the loudest fucking back shots. Christine smashes the mirror, taking her back to modern day.
You could have killed somebody!
I'm sorry!
Bro really fucking killed someone. It was like, I'm sorry. Whoa, I'm sorry about it. Who
are you?
Who are you?
A very relieved admirer.
Who are you? The producer invites Christine back for drinks, freshens up his face, you know, as anyone would. Nothing strange about this. Christine sees the opera called Don Juan Triumphant. That must be a like really popular opera here, you know? I've seen it everywhere. It's just like...
You're him.
What?
Aren't you?
What?
Had you expected someone else?
Who would have get what? Christine finally grows a fucking backbone and rips his mask of skin off. You wait with that, and it looks so good. Then she stabs the shit out of him, runs away with his music, ripping it, resulting in his death, like. And why does ripping the singular piece of music kill him? There are many copies in his home. There are digital copies, printed copies, electronic copies of this music. Like, is it just this one? But then Christine also has the version of the music she had earlier in the beginning of the film, the one she pieced together in the library. So it's like, is it just one piece? I don't fucking know. Then she decides to reminisce about the Phantom. Me personally, I would be running away from the police because I just fucking killed someone.
FBI, open up!
And then the end. Accuracy like 25%. It has some scenes, elements, partially sprinkled names here and there, and some personality traits, but it's just hollow. There's nothing going on for it. And as a movie, I don't know what the fuck to score it. It feels like a bizarre thing you'd pick up at the bottom of the DVD bin and be like, oh yeah, but I'm a big girl now, I'm gonna watch horror. And this is what it is. I enjoy the horror elements to it, but they just rely on it so fucking much. It doesn't feel too far off from what the original Eric would do. It's just the entire gimmick of it. Phantom of the Opera 1919 miniseries. Over a decade. I'm not in the fucking mood today. Over a decade later, we get a straight-to-TV miniseries of the Phantom of the Opera. And this is for the disillusioned girls that wish the Phantom and Christine ended up because they're so compatible with each other, right?
Can't.
We open up with the manager getting fired and Christine as a poor, stinky girl trying to get into the opera house after being told by Vicomte de Chagny that she must go there for singing lessons. And she immediately gets humbled by the reality of this man just being a player, but is also completely dismissed by all his other love interests that reside in the opera house. Like, this isn't his first time coming up to a woman being like, you know what you need? Singing lessons. But then again, she is also dismissed by Carlotta, who is the new manager's wife. Ooh, we have a twist. So Carlotta here has a much bigger role rather than just being a diva. She's the diva of the new manager, which entices her to do whatever the fuck she wants. Carlotta then sends her costume man to the cellars, but here the cellars are immediate death. Like, everybody knows, do not go down in the cellars, do not go down in the cellars. Do we know why? You'll fucking die. Here is immediate death to anyone that dares to enter, for that is the Phantom's lair. Ooh. He enters anyways. And surprisingly, he doesn't get killed by Eric. He just fucking he just fucking dies because he's so scared of Eric when he sees him. So now Carlotta's like, shit, Christine, you need a job? That's crazy, we have an opening. Turns out there's a vacancy in the costume department. How crazy. What a coincidence. And if only it was that fucking easy to get a job, bro. And she has free housing.
Can't stay here till you can afford something else.
What kind of economy do I live in? The crew gets introduced to the new managers and everybody, especially the Phantom, fucking hates them.
And his charming and talented wife, Carlotta.
And the new managers learn about the Phantom.
I don't believe a word of this.
Oh, this? These are tricks! I don't believe in ghosts.
I'm sorry, bro, but the comedy here is so... It's fun, it's funny, it blends in so well. Unlike some adaptations that can just shut the fuck up when it comes to comedy. And oh my god.
What is going on?
His voice is kind of hard.
Answer my question. Eric. Yes.
I'm sorry, the Phantom's voice is kind of hot. Take me away, officer! In here, the old manager and Eric are very close. Eric here, he's such a sassy man.
My God, the place really is haunted. What is that?
It must be Carlotta.
She can't sing.
Well, obviously she doesn't know that.
Well, someone should tell her. What kind of horror are you leaving me in?
Here, Eric is a normal man, for the most part. He just has trouble seeing why killing is an issue. He doesn't see the issue in killing people when he feels like it.
Eric, what are we going to do about all of this?
I know what to do about it. I'll kill them both.
Oh, come on now.
I'm teasing. Probably the only one I need to kill is her.
Eric.
I'm just not used to killing people. It's thrown me off a bit.
The Phantom here has a glossy mask to mimic skin with these blackout eyes, and it feels like it's straight from the book, which kind of mimics his original face, where it's, you know, cadaverous, holes with black eyes. The Phantom hears Christine sing, and it's really fucking nice they sing in French in this, like... And some of the characters even speak in French accents. And fuck yeah, we're singing in French. Vive la France! Vive la nation! Vive la France! And when he hears Christine sing, this obviously sparks his infatuation with her. And I've probably said that 100 times already.
Darling, how do I look?
You look like spring. No better. You look like a young spring.
You wouldn't lie to me, would you?
This has got to be my favorite lavender couple right here. I love a gay man and a lesbian woman in a relationship. After rehearsals, the Phantom finally works up the courage to say hi to Christine. He says hi so timidly.
Please don't be afraid.
And offers to teach her in singing, but he must remain anonymous, otherwise everyone is going to be on his dick for lessons, because his singing lessons are just so good.
That if you allow me to be your guide, and I sincerely hope that you will...
Oh my god, he looks like he's gonna shit himself talking to this poor girl.
I must insist that I remain anonymous. Which is why I'm wearing this mask.
Hey! Do you want a singing lesson? We get more Phantom letters to the new manager about his box 5, and obviously the manager doesn't seem to care and fills the box in, and Eric startles them.
I would appreciate it if you left.
And here we begin the reign of terror upon Carlotta. Let's go! I hate her ass. I've had enough of her. He swaps her wig for an infested, itchy replica. And glues her drink to the tray and spooks the managers. And we get so much more of his sass after this.
Did you see what happened to Carlotta?
No, what?
Her debut was a disaster.
Oh, that's too bad.
You know what you did, you cheeky thing. You know what you did. Christine and Eric continue their lessons, where he falls deeply and madly more in love with her.
The gods smiled when they imagined you, Christine Daae.
And stop!
You are... music itself.
My voice does not please you.
Ever since I was a child, you're what I've been hearing in my dreams.
He's so sweet.
How will I ever repay you for this?
Is she gonna give him coochie for this? Oh my. Side note here, but why do the investigator and the old manager look exactly the fucking same? The only thing differentiating them is the shade of their little French moustache. And I didn't understand that, first of all. So when I saw the investigator ratting about Eric, I'm like, oh my god, the old manager's ratting about Eric. But it's like, no. It's just another Frenchman. And damn, I wonder who this fat, curly-locked, golden hair motherfucker is. Who could it be, whore of the opera looking ass? Raoul! But not really, his name is Philip in this for some reason. I don't know why they named him after his brother. Him and Christine meet at the opera. Bitch. He invites her to the bistro later at night.
Forgive me, I'm hurrying as fast as I can.
Don't worry. I've never seen such perfection.
And she outsings Carlotta on stage, dazzling everyone. They go on a date afterwards, and Christine reminds them how they knew each other from their childhood. She was a child servant to his family, and how they would frolic and play until that eventually ended up costing her family their job. The amount of guilt I would feel as a child for that, I'd be like, I shouldn't have fucking existed. I shouldn't have been alive. And this boat scene is so fucking gorgeous. They really captivated everything so well. I know it's a very easy aesthetic to do, but it's And we cut to the heartbroken Phantom who was observing them throughout the night and waiting for Christine to return to him. Christine returns back, breaking her promise to the Phantom of meeting up, and she fucking lies about where she's been.
I wasn't with Carlotta after the bistro. I was with the Count. I shouldn't have lied. I'm not sure why I did. I suppose it was because I thought you'd be upset, and I didn't want to hurt you.
And on top of that, on the same fucking night, she reveals to Carlotta, who is giving her singing lessons, you had one rule, Christine. You had one rule, what? You had one rule, oh my god. You had one rule, Christine. One fucking rule. Like, are you fucking stupid at this point? And he has been the nicest fucking Phantom out of all the ones we've seen.
You little fool.
Faithfulness.
And on the night of Christine's debut, which is just a plan to lure out the Phantom, Carlotta pulls an Uno reverse card and spikes a drink to fuck up Christine's voice on stage, where in the book it's the Phantom that does it to Carlotta.
No.
Poor and frightened little Christine gets booed off the stage, causing Eric to get fired up and bring down, say it with me now, the chandelier! And this is the only adaptation that includes the detail where the chandelier just killed one person. I don't know how that's possible. And it missed all the chaos. The police accidentally arrest the wrong person.
Inspector, we've got him. Where is he? I am not the Phantom. I am Mephisto.
Eric abducts Christine to his lair. When is it my turn? When is it my turn? And we have Raoul here pretending to care.
Christine!
Great job, baby. You're not fooling anyone. The police go underground to investigate but ultimately fail when they are warned off by Eric hanging one of their members. So silly I died. Then causing one of the policemen to accidentally kill one of his partners in the process. Great work, guys. Keep it up. Eric gets revenge on Carlotta for what she did to Christine by throwing rats on her. What the fuck?
Rats for a rat.
Which causes her to never regain sanity afterwards.
The rats! The rats!
No, there are no rats. No rats.
Alfredo! Godiamo, ci invito.
Christine wakes up and she's not overwhelmed or weirded out or creeped out by the fucking gigantic painting situated right in front of her that resembles her. She's just like, oh, what a pretty woman. She's just like, la 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 la. But finally some logic gets installed into her brain somehow after she sees a dead baby doll head. And it's like, okay, hey guys, it's kind of weird. The old manager tries to make a deal with Eric to return Christine, and he expresses no intention of doing so, and how hellish and cruel the overworld above him is, and just how much he loves her. He, like any sentence this man speaks out of his mouth, he somehow is able to interject his feelings of loving Christine.
For as long as I can remember, ever since I was a child, I have dreamed of her. Now, people are born for many things, Gerard. I was born to live, if one can call this living, down here. But until now, I have never known quite why. I was born so that she could save me. She is the reason I was born. I love her, Gerard.
And isn't that beautiful? While Eric is busy just preparing to blow the entire place up, the manager sneaks further and tries to rescue Christine.
No, wait, please.
Line. Line, girl, line.
Where am I?
In the catacombs, down under the opera house. The woman whose voice I said yours remind me of. She was his mother.
Freud! And we get backstory about Eric's life, how he was born down here from a couple, and how his mother loved him dearly regardless of how he looked, regardless of how he was born, causing him to wear a mask. No tragic story to his face at all. He was just born like this. And all of this happens because he was born ugly, Like, how fucked up is that?
The hardest part for me was realizing she saw nothing ugly in this child at all.
We also see here for the very first time that Eric was actually loved by his mother and only his mother, then her tragically passing away due to poor living conditions. And I'm like, how do you know all of this? Who told you this?
I did. I'm his father.
Oh, so you're the deadbeat responsible for all of his trauma. Oh, it makes sense now. And after all of that, Christine refuses to leave because she truly now pities him. She wakes up the next day and Eric suggests to go on a picnic.
How do you think? Formal touch? Yes, I think so too. And of course, a walking cane.
How fucking cute is that? Stop! They stroll along his self-made forest with taxidermied animals in the cellars, and Christine tries to get him to show what's underneath his mask that could truly horrify a human to the point that they had to keep him under wraps and underground his whole life.
Will you grant me a favor?
No.
Only if you say you do not love me will I stop.
Christine manipulating people for the sake of love, count 1.
You don't know what you're asking.
Yes, I do. If you love me, please let me love you too.
Count 2. And then she brings up his dead mother in order to get him to reveal his face. Wow, Christine.
Your mother saw your face and smiled. If love could let her gaze at you and smile, could it not do the same for me?
Like, damn girl, she just really let me use this against you to get what I want. I could see her being one of those Hello Kitty bitches in modern time, the way she tries to pry out whatever she wants out of this man, bruh. It's crazy to see tradition in modernity now. He so hesitantly gives her what she asks for, and then she fucking faints at the sight of him. Christine, you couldn't make this any worse now, could you? And they say the worst she can say is no. I feel so fucking bad for him in this scene. Like, they build up all this vulnerability and romance just for her to fuck it up. Christine! Then rightfully so, he fucking locks her ass up away to never escape in a million years. And then she escapes. Book Eric would never let this happen. Book Eric, if you thought of Eric from the book, he would be right fucking behind you. He would sniff you out.
Do I love her? My feelings for this woman are like nothing I have ever felt for anyone.
They rescue Christine, but not really. They kind of just bump into her coincidentally. Then Christine wakes up grief-stricken about Eric and how she doesn't deserve him right in front of Philippe.
Oh, let me look at it.
Sashay away.
Oh, you mad? Oh, you mad, huh? You mad? And Christine begs for Philippe to take her back.
Please, Philippe!
Not take her back in the relationship after pining for another man, but to take her back to Eric that she pines for.
I'll need your help if you love me at all. Please, Philippe, please.
This could be my gabble. Christine manipulating people for the sake of love, count 3. And they form a plan to lure the Phantom out. Guess how? By making Christine sing.
That you love him.
Yes, but it's not the same kind of love I have for you.
Yeah, because she kind of likes you like a puppy at this point. We cut to Eric dying of heartbreak just like in the book, which none of the adaptations had the fucking heart to do. Why are you people so fucking afraid of romance in a horror book? I don't get it. He has a heart-to-heart with the old manager, and they edge us for the 10th time of him taking off his mask.
But I'm glad she saw.
Just to reveal another mask underneath. What is this, Drag Race? But with this Phantom, we have many masks. Which at first I thought okay, they're just having fun with it. But then I realized he can't show his face at all. He cannot show his emotion through facial features. So he removes the masks. And when he's sad, he'll put on the sad mask. And he'll put a black mask when he's enraged. And when he's feeling like a disco queen, he'll put on a disco mask, you know? He reveals he's Eric's father. And Eric's like, we've been new. We have the same eyes. That's the only thing I can stand to see in my face is my own eyes. And that's the only thing I see myself in you. And yet during all of that, he still manages to mention how concerned he is for Christine.
She left Christine.
Yes, I think so.
I would have loved to have heard her voice again. Just once.
When is it my turn? When is it my turn? When is it my turn? The performance night rolls along, and Christine performs her role in Faust that she was sabotaged earlier in. The Phantom hears her singing heavily echo all throughout the opera and tries with all his might to hurry up to his box to witness her. And now stop the second he shows up, her song becomes so gentle and she sings about how much she loves him while looking at him. I don't care if you people find this cheesy, I like it. And then he sings back to her.
Oui, c'est moi, je t'aime. Malgré les framames du démon.
Stop! I don't care if you find this cringe, I like it. Should we shoot him, sir? No, wait, this is my favorite part. Ah, you mad? You mad you bitches with another man? And the crowd goes wild. Okay, he's done singing. Now we can shoot him. And what did you think was gonna happen? This man knows one fucking move and it's snatching Christine. Then they try to make a break to the rooftop.
It's a him! He's a here! No, 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 no!
This is so funny. Oh my god. The lights off.
Oh my god. The cable turned off. You should have sucked the nigga dick for free. Should have sucked the nigga dick for free. Oh my god. The lights off.
I beg you, please let her go. She sang for me tonight. She's mine.
Eric, please, you mean you no harm.
Eric saves Philippe after he jumps him because...
Eric, please! Please! Eric, if you love me, you love me, please.
Christine manipulating people for the sake of love. Count 4. Eric is surrounded with no place to escape, and his father opts to finally put him out of his misery himself. That's crazy. Christine rushes to Eric and removes his mask and faints again. I'm kidding. Like, imagine if she did. I would have harmed somebody. She removes his mask and kisses him on the forehead, while with each fighting breath, he utters her name. And then passes on. I feel so blue-balled they should have ended up together. Like, why are you showing me the most coupleyest couple and then, like, she's going with the fuckboy? Accuracy is like 34, 5. We use the same names, some events. We use the opera house. But the majority of the events that take place are from the show's own imagination and not from the book. Like the majority of the romance and Eric's backstory and his connection with the manager. And as a series itself, it's not bad. Like, if you just want to see a cute little couple having a cute little time in a cute little forest with dead animals. And this is the first time we see them actually have chemistry. There is no mystery to this at all. We already know about Eric and everything. We don't question if he exists. There's no mystery. There's not really horror, but it is a fun romance. And I needed that after those previous adaptations. Jesus Christ. Phantom of the Opera, 1998. This one has a very, very infamous reputation in the Phantom of the Opera community. And I'm talking like a really small subreddit. And it does not take long to see why. Like a lot of bad films, I had faith in this. I want to root for the underdog. This is directed by the motherfucker that made the original Suspiria movie. I fucking hate Suspiria. But just to give some cultural context, a movie that is well loved in the horror community, what could go wrong? We are thrown into this harsh raining storm along with a mother abandoning her child down the river. Close enough. Welcome back, Moses. Deliver us!
Are you done yet?
I have never seen a bigger lie being told. This must have been told by a man right here. And he gets taken away by mice?
Thus, by chance, a mysterious bond is forged between the abandoned child and the inhabitants of darkness.
It makes it seem like it's a fucking superhero movie. This is the birth of Mouse Man. We cut away to the future, and Christine, who is an already established singer, sings alone on the stage, and the Phantom is intoxicated by her voice. You've lived in the opera this whole life, yes? And you've never heard her sing once. Yes, that makes sense. And a second later, we get this weird, damp, horny introduction.
Your pardon?
Oh, what the fuck? No, hi, hello, my name is just... The Phantom here has no mask, no costume, no deformities, just really bad Alucard cosplay. And somehow through this they communicate through telepathy. Have you ever been so horny that you communicate through telepathy? I guess the mice taught him that one. He gets revenge for his mice family by making the rat catchers use his trap on himself. Then they eat him. We cut to Christine chit-chatting with her maid, who is the most fucking annoying person to like ever exist. And I'm not saying that just because she's British.
They sent some roses.
We can see that. I certainly didn't think they were for me, you fool.
Silence, Brit! They did Carlotta so fucking dirty with this makeup. She looks like the bartender in Shrek. The rat catcher reports about his incident with the rats. At least I think that's what he's saying.
Ah! Doctor the text!
Christine and the Phantom meet again. Horned up deluxe edition.
Your female smell flows through my veins like the melody of the rolling ocean. My sweet child.
Ew. They do this a lot. I don't know if it's like a thing they did back then in fucking 1880s, calling grown women my child, but they do it so much in so many adaptations. My pussy shriveled up. Someone above head was watching them and starts to spread the word that the Phantom is real. I'm so uncomfortable. I am so uncomfortable. The guy tells his girlfriend that he followed the Phantom after seeing him down to his lair and he must be hiding treasure. And him and his girl get so happy about the hidden treasure that they just fuck. What the fuck? Sorry. Christine has a meeting with Vicomte de Chagny, who is head over heels for her, and she rejects him.
I allow you to be the brother I never had.
Fuck a friend zone. We got family zoned. Unless she's into incest, you're not getting out of that. Back to our treasure hunters. They make their way down the catacombs to the Phantom. This is a really nice set design, I'm not gonna lie. Having the catacombs here, it's really claustrophobic and hard to maneuver around. You can't really run away in the sand, and it's so dim, so eerie. It's really nice. And the Phantom snatches them on their trail. No, literally, he fucking snatches them.
I'm not a phantom. I'm a rat.
You lied. He is the rat of the opera. The Phantom kills the guy and goes after his girl. And she gets the bright fucking idea to erase her footprints in the sand, right? While erasing her footprints in the sand, she is standing in the sand making more footprints. While trying to escape, she gets her foot lodged in a rock that we can see easily be moved. Girl, just fucking go. We already saw the prop. Then he rips out her tongue. You freaky freaky. You freaky freaky. And I'll save you the visuals on that. I don't even know if I'm legally allowed to show you. Sorry, I needed something that made sense after what the fuck I just watched. I needed to cleanse myself. Mew Mew Power save me. Mew Mew Power save me. We get a bit here where the Phantom is on the rooftop. What else would he do on the rooftop? He's getting horny, obviously. I don't think I've ever seen a man truly in heat until now. Carlotta gets a sore throat mysteriously.
10 minutes ago, it was fine.
Why not try the little understudy? Who is she? Christine Daae.
Christine replaces her. Bada bing, bada boom, we know this. And let me tell you just how fucking awful the lip syncing is here. Like, I'm not gonna be like, oh, you have to sing everything yourself because you're an actor, and you know, the other ones, I didn't really care if they sang or not. Whatever, you know, you can't do it all. But here they think lip syncing an opera means just opening your mouth wider and making your eyes wider so you sing louder. It really doesn't look good. And she don't know the damn words. She don't know what the fuck she's singing. This woman is Italian, singing an Italian opera, and she does not know her words. So she sings while Raoul is just sitting there, heavily panting over her, I feel like. And it looks like he's going to dry heave or something, just sitting there. Christine sees the Phantom and fucking faints because she wants that man so badly. Girl, get up. Girl, get up. You don't even know his name. We get the dressing room scene, which Raoul here oddly feels more in tune with his book character. Not exactly, but being this hopeless lover boy of constantly trying to get at Christine over and over and getting rejected. So he's just kind of like, Christine! Raoul's brother tries to cheer Raoul up by taking him to a sex belly dancing hookah spa bathhouse. France, what the fuck? And the only thing French about this movie finally pops up, and it's just two Frenchmen arguing at each other until they get thrown into the fucking stinky bath water. So Raoul tries to get his freak on, respectfully so, like he deserves some freak. But can only envision Christine in these other women. And I feel like this is the absolute perfect time to mention that the woman and the main actress you see here portraying Christine in this very sexual manner is the daughter of the director of this film. So while she is doing this, her father is right behind the camera, watching everything, directing telling her what to do. Like, imagine your dad just watching you do this, less alone directing it. Raoul just gets more mad because he can't have Christina. Is like, fuck, I'm gonna make it everybody else's problem, just like every man does, and throws a tantrum. The Phantom kills this pedophile manager, right? And I did not even want to mention this manager. Why did you add him being a pedophile to this? And they tried to redeem it like, oh no, we killed him. Don't add him in the first place. There's so many constant moves and things he says to these little girls in the opera. When I saw these little girls, I'm like, why are they here? And then I saw the man with the little girls, and it's like, oh my god, why did you add this? It's not in the book. It doesn't add anything to this. You're not edgy. Like, he makes so many creepy advances that I don't even care that he's dead anymore. I just wish you never put him there. Christine now basically becomes a booty call for the Phantom. Modern romance was foreshadowed, guys. And she goes down to the cellar to see Ratmobile. Damn, that didn't last long. She is stigmatized by him so madly that she rows a boat to go see this man. And she knows his exact fucking location. Imagine being so heavily in need for a man, you know exactly where he is. And she sings for him. At least I think that's what she's doing. I couldn't tell you what's happening at the bottom of the screen to cause this reaction. And they fuck in the candlelight. And reminder, her dad is the director of this movie. Like, imagine your father filming your sex scene. Jail. You are going to jail. But you know what? At least they finally like each other. After his post-nut clarity, the Phantom decides to tell Christine about his rat family. What an emotional piece of media this is. Like, do you think the rats gave him mouse milk as a baby? To make sure he grows up strong? It's like that one statue. Later, the Phantom goes up to secure the role of Christine in Romeo and Juliet, but Christine wants to go with him.
No! Don't go! I don't want to stay here!
And in a single breath, she goes from being crazy about this man to fucking hating him because he won't let her go up just yet. Like, you can go up later, you just can't go up now. And she's like, I fucking hate you!
I hate you! And I hate this place!
Like, you can leave later, you just gotta stay put for like 5 fucking minutes, Christine. And the Phantom leaves to bully Carlotta out of her role. Kinky man, you biting her ear, you kinky man. Then he threatens her, but more specifically, he threatens her boobs.
Will not so tonight if you value these big breasts.
What kind of website did I watch this on? I think I watched this on the wrong kind of website, guys. But regardless of all of that, Carlotta decides to sing out of spite, as she should. And honestly, she's my favorite character in this. We get our first warning notes, and they include his red ink, but not his crooked handwriting like he has in the book. And it's like, it would have made so much sense here. Who taught you to write so neatly and eloquently? The rats? The fucking rats? And here we get our most realistic chandelier crashing, not in terms of visuals, but in terms of mortality rate. Like, I don't believe that nobody got killed. The Phantom returns and informs Christine about her role, and she refuses to accept it.
I don't want it. Tell me how many lives did it cost?
How did she know people died? Like, you've never heard him killing of anyone before this. How do you know he killed people to get your role? It's not... And then he gets mad at her, but then it's okay, because then they hate fuck. So, with her dad watching... I'm kidding, it's the rat man watching in the back, but her dad's behind the camera watching. Christine wakes up and sees the Phantom having family bonding time. Honestly, green flag. He enjoys animals. Never mind, where's your fucking clothes at? Where are your clothes? And Christine uses this chance to flee and somehow runs into Raoul.
My love, my love.
My love? You've talked to this man one time in the entire movie, and that was to reject him. My love. Then we get the rooftop scene of her explaining where she's been and how she feels while the Phantom listens. And honestly, she's just leaning onto him because she has nobody else besides a fucking cranky British maid. But we cut to Christine looking way more than happy to accept her role of Juliet. Fuck a moral, bitch. She somehow forgot about all the people that died for her role. She's just like, oh. Then the rat catcher spoils her performance, and that gives a distraction for the Phantom to snatch away Christine. Christine wakes and smacks that bitch with a rock while crying for Raoul, but then in the very same breath begs for the Phantom's forgiveness.
Forgive me. I'm sorry.
I don't know what's going on. Good God, girl, get a grip. Get a fucking grip. Stand up. You're embarrassing yourself. The police and Raoul are hurriedly in a hunt for Christine. And Raoul, we are in a prop center. Those are props. That is a not fully loaded... Why was that gun fully loaded? In the prop room? Was there a fully loaded gun in the prop room? The Phantom gets knocked out, but still helps them escape from the police. Oh my God, girl, if you're so sad and distraught, swim. Go in the water and swim. This is so embarrassing. You think she can't embarrass herself any further? But then she does. Then the Phantom gets bodied again. For some reason, the police decide to go after Raoul and Christine. Shut the fuck up. Shut up!
Don't let them get away!
The police came in with Raoul looking for Christine. Now the police are going after Raoul and Christine. Okay. The Phantom finally dies after a hellish beating, and the end. The accuracy in this is like 25%. We use some places and names with a tiny bit of key events, but other than that, we're seeing ass, titties, or worse. Much worse. The gore was fun. It didn't feel too gimmicky, but you could just tell they wanted to be edgy. You know? As a movie, what the fuck? What the fuck? Phantom of the Opera 2004. This is based on the musical of Andrew Lloyd Webber, which I will be comparing the movie to the musical. I have beef with this. This was my very first introduction to Phantom of the Opera. It disappointed me beyond belief. I'm very biased when talking about this. And I'm sorry, but this movie runs longer than the original play and is like 10 times worse. So you really have no fucking excuse for this. The play even like clocks out at about 2 hours and 13 minutes. That's not even cutting out the intro of everybody getting prepared. That's not even cutting out. That's not even cutting out the intermission between Act 1 and Act 2. So I don't know how you fucked it up in way more fucking time. We start our story at an auction bidding off items at the very opera house that the Phantom has murdered and tortured everyone in. So it seems very appropriate and in taste to be auctioning off these items. We have an old Madame Giry and Raoul de Chagny bid off for a little monkey. But then we are quickly transferred back to the time and place that we know, 1880s France and the Paris Opera House, and we see so much life here. Everybody just running around these cramped hallways trying to prepare for a rehearsal, which is described in the book, but never actually seen in any adaptation, the life of the opera house being described. During a rehearsal, the old manager announces their retirement and Carlotta gets startled by the Phantom for the last time and finally snaps. Carlotta's and the managers are so fun here.
Somebody not finish it! And I hate my hat!
Refusing to fill in her role, Christine, who is a ballerina here, sees this opportunity. She astounds the managers and gets the role. Bada bing, bada boom. We all know this. Madame Giry here has such an important role. Like in the book, she was just written off as this crazy woman because she had a connection with the Phantom. The Phantom liked her. She was the box lady. And she's like, yo, the Phantom's like very nice to me. And the managers were like, no, you're fucking crazy. But here she is way closer to the Phantom. And the Phantom kind of communicates through Madame Giry. Like he'll give the letters to her instead of just kind of hiding in people's closets and just like, oh, here's a letter. And Madame Giry guides Christine in the image of what the Phantom wants her to be. And Madame Giry here is the only French thing about this fucking movie. That's it. It's one French woman. Christine here sings like a Disney princess. She looks like a Disney princess. And she is also the age of a Disney princess. That will come into play later. That won't make it weird to watch later, will it? I probably wouldn't be as mad like, oh, we want a younger girl and an older guy for more of an age dynamic play, more of a power play, like she's much more helpless since she's much more younger. But okay. But it's just that during the casting, they put emphasis on like, we want them young. Sure, we want them talented, but we want them young. And it was just like, ew. Because Sierra, who plays Christine in the live version, she's 29. She looks phenomenal. She does a phenomenal job. Nobody is like, oh, Christine is too old. If anything, making her older is more so better because it's like she can think for herself. Maybe she's not really a victim. You know, because even in the book, Christine is 20 years old, so she can kind of think for herself versus a 17-year-old girl. That is a baby. But like, would it kill them to act theatrical on a theater stage? Like, she's just like smiling and opening her mouth, and this poor girl sings incredibly well. I just wish the director would have been like, hey, can you look more theatrical instead of Raoul's singing is not bad here. He just kind of sings like a teacher would sing the ABCs to a child.
Long ago, it seems so long ago, how young and innocent we were.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G. That's kind of what he does. On my initial watch, it felt so suffocating with the music. But for most musicals, the reason why they burst into song is because they cannot handle the emotions inside of them. Words simply fail them, so they're like, fuck, I gotta sing about it. Shout out to you. I love you so much. Please make videos again. But here, they'll sing 2 fucking lines, and then that's it. And I'll fucking groan when I hear those 2 lines because I'm like, oh no fucking way they're gonna sing again. It gives you that musical syndrome where it's like, oh my god, I can't believe they're gonna sing again. Please don't sing again. And here they're really just saying quantity over the quality of songs, and I fucking hate it so much. I like musicals, okay? I fucking hate this. Raoul rushes to Christine's dressing room and doesn't get laughed at in the book. He is welcomed here with open arms. And look at the fucking dressing room. Oh my god. You wait till these motherfucking croquette girls find out about Christine Daae, bruh. It's over. She's gonna be ruined. Christine tells Raoul, I don't know why they changed it. She tells him about the angel of music and how it's connected to her father, and he dismisses her, and we finally say angel of music, thank fucking God. And he leaves, leading up to the mirror scene. I cannot take this man singing seriously, please. He thinks singing in such deep breaths makes him sound intimidating. It just makes you sound old. He has no pitch, no vibrato, no fucking runs, no range.
I am there inside.
He sings like he's never heard a song in his fucking life. Motherfucker, you live underneath an opera house. How have you never heard how people are supposed to sing? The casting for this feels like the way they cast a high school theater production, right? Where there'll be a ton of girls and they're all fighting tooth and nail because they all can fucking sing, right? You know, the girls, they're gonna pick the very best of the best. Such a wide variety. But when it comes to the guys, it's just like, if they don't have a gay one, they'll go to the straight man being like, can you sing? I mean, I get, come. And also with the Phantom singing, they're like, oh, we want an unconventional singer. Oh, you got what you wanted, and I want you to never want anything ever again. We want an unconventional singer. Even Michael Jackson, after watching Phantom of the Opera on Broadway, came up to Andrew Lloyd Webber and was like, hey, if you're ever doing a movie, you know, sign me the fuck up. Which would have been, like, imagine that. Imagine Michael Jackson as the Phantom. That would have been one for the books. You missed out completely, and then you put this fucking ass on screen for me to watch for 2.5 hours. And here we have easily one of the best passageway sequences. I mean, come on, look at it. If you close your ears, it's easily one of the best. Not him pouting his fucking lips. I'm dead. You know he thinks he's the most attractive motherfucker in this room. Look at this mystical gothic opulence. They really said copy and paste, put that there, put that there, put that there. It's really maximalist. And the candles light up when they come out of the water. Woo! And here it would have been like really nice if they decorated the Phantom's lair the way they did in the book. And I don't know why nobody did this. We had the budget here. Please, can we just do this next time? I was in the middle of a drawing room that seemed to be decorated, adorned, and furnished with nothing but flowers. Flowers both magnificent and stupid because of the silk ribbons that tied them to the baskets. Christine's dress here is the absolute fucking best. I'm so fucking in love. I absolutely hated the one they had for the live version because of the gold corset peeking out here. Like, I wish they just would have totally covered it and draped her in these luscious white robes. Does this outfit make sense practically? No. Should a corset and garters be on a 17-year-old? No. But I still think it's a good outfit. And oh my god, he is fighting against the fucking music here.
Turn your face away.
Girl, when I heard the live version, I'm like, oh, we're supposed to sing with the song in the background, not against it. He's singing like he's never read the lyrics before. Like when he sings, I can imagine his finger on the paper being like, and now I am here with you. Oh my god. Is there a mosquito in here? Like, I'm hearing this buzzing in my fucking ears, bro. He absolutely butchered this fucking note. They really added echo and reverb to that shit because he could not hit that fucking note. And I know that because I do that. Get your hands off that little girl, you're 34. Stop it. I feel like they focus so much on the Phantom having this sex appeal for marketing that they totally turned a blind eye to his singing. You know, the main motherfucker that this musical is about, they turned a blind eye to his singing. And they did not care about his performance at all. So yeah, Christine enters his lair, faints when she sees a replica doll of herself. Reasonable. She wakes up and sings like, who the fuck are you? And we get the most anticlimactic mask pull along with this bland betrayal song.
Damn you! Curse you!
I hate this one line singing with absolute no fucking emotion. I know it's supposed to be a movie adaptation of a play, and they kind of do have to turn it down a bit because facial expressions will look really weird when you're supposed to be immersed and not on a stage. Like, you have to be over theatrical on a stage for everybody to see how you're feeling, and when you're in a close-up on a camera, you're gonna look ridiculous. But come on, the way they sing ruins the entire purpose of having music in the fucking first place. Like, why didn't you just get rid of the music? Oh, everybody would have been mad. Oh, why did you perform the music shittily? Oh, because of the on-screen adaptation. Shut the fuck up. So he returns Christine back to the surface, otherwise people will get suspicious. We get a scene where everyone is bombarded with the Phantom's letters. Most importantly, one where he demands them to cast Christine as the lead. They don't care. The night of the performance, Carlotta's throat spray gets duped, and she starts to and while preparing Christine to replace Carlotta during the performance, the Phantom encounters a crew member, Joseph Bouquet. The Phantom and Joseph here are playing like when I want to play around with my cat, where it's just like and he just hangs him in front of the entire audience. Christine in panic flees to the roof with Raoul, and he calms her down and they do a little kissy. You're 30. Remove your lips from that little girl. While the Phantom listens along like a fucking loser. You're not helping your case, bro, when I call you a fucking loser and then you start singing like this. You're not helping your fucking case. Put some auto-tune on that bitch. After crying about how much she can't stand this place, apparently 3 months later, Christine is still here in the very opera house, but now engaged, and here for the masquerade ball. She has her priorities in check, I guess. And the masquerade ball here fucking sucks in comparison to the theatre version. There's like 3 colors on screen maximum, and most of them are various shades of beige. And then we get this dance solo. Ooh, fuck it up. Ooh, fuck it up. Ooh. The song is called Masquerade. Why does she have no fucking mask on her face? Like, the whole reason they try to meet up at the masquerade in the book is so that fucking Eric doesn't know that Christine and Raoul are meeting up because they're in masks. And apparently here, masquerade means you only get a mask if you're a background character, because we don't want to cover up the money makers. Christine announces her secret engagement to Raoul.
What if we to hide?
I don't know, maybe having a child bride. And we get an okay-ish performance from the Phantom. He's just standing there, menacingly. Boo, they got rid of his fun hat. Boo, they fucking modernized his mask. Now he just looks like he's in Shy Guy cosplay. Here he announces his opera, Don Juan Triumphant. And when he gets to Christine, he snatches her necklace with the chain on it.
Your chain's just mine. You belong to me.
Because the chain on her neck and the chain of marriage, that is the engagement ring on her chain, but really he wants her to be chained to him in marriage more specifically. This was so good, they should have put this in the theatre version. He vanishes underground, Raoul tries to trail him, and we get this little homage to the original torture chamber room that was in the book and the first adaptation, and it was like, I see you. Madame Giry saves Raoul, and he gets her to tell us about who the Phantom really is for the sake of everyone's safety. Turns out long ago, as a child, she went to a traveling circus. Damn, these people pay to see a motherfucker to twist back his eyelids. In grade 4, somebody behind you would have done that for free. And she sees the Phantom as a small child being abused and exploited as the devil's child for his face. The Phantom breaks loose and kills his master. Then they run away together, taking refuge underneath the opera house, and he's been there ever since. And here, Madame Giry truly holds admiration for the Phantom's creativity and true sympathy for him. Like, I'm genuinely surprised the Phantom didn't go after Madame Giry. Like, she genuinely has admiration for you. Later at night, Christine sneaks out and basically says, fuck it to you guys trying to protect me. Fuck you literally sleeping outside of my dorm room to make sure that I'm safe. I'm gonna go fuck it up myself. And she decides that seeing her dead dad is more important than having her life being saved. They literally add a chapel to the opera house where we can see how much she prays for her dad and how much she cares about him passing away. See, it would have been more convenient to do what she's always done and go to the chapel with someone to make a prayer for her dad. But no, she just has to go out to the fucking cemetery in the heights of all this fucking danger. It's like somebody's not trying to fucking snatch you away, is there? And we get this very, very, very well done wishing you were here number. And the scenery, oh my god, this is all handmade. This is a set. This is absolutely beautiful. She finally reaches her father, and it's the biggest resting place out of anyone there. He does not have a resting place. He has a resting house. Bruh. I knew he was a violinist, but clearly none of that money fucking went to Christine the way he's propped up here. Like, I've only seen that for celebrities. None of that money went to Christine. And honestly, what a beautiful moment. Never mind, he started singing. And the last thing I want after mourning my dead father is to hear that man sing again. I will be 6 feet under in a few seconds if he dares to fucking sing. We reach his resting house where the Phantom seduces Christine into thinking that he's her father's spirit. Raoul shows up and jukes it out, then Christine pulls the "No! Don't kill him!" and they flee, and he declares war on them both.
Now, let it be war upon you both.
Bro, they both left. They can't hear you. Again, I love Christine's outfit here, but it does not feel too historically accurate, and I don't think she looks particularly warm in that, especially for a 17-year-old in a room full of grown men. Raoul conjures up a plan to draw out the Phantom, and Christine goes on stage to sing the Phantom's opera. All the while, the Phantom murders the lead so he can replace him during the sexy song. And he does not even bother to disguise himself on stage. But we do get to see the closest version of the Phantom's original mask, which is just black.
You've already succumbed to me.
Does that voice not sound familiar? It should be illegal to go on stage and sing like that.
No second thoughts.
God, he's such an ass with all these faces, I swear to God. He thinks he's the hottest motherfucker in the room. And I hate the dancers here. You know, we're trying to have an intimate moment between this child bride and this weird Phantom that lives underground. And the dancers are just like... You don't even see them in the background. They're kind of just squashed in the back. They don't even pop out because they're all wearing black and the background's red. So you can't even see them properly. Hit that shit, Christine! She finally gets close enough to unmask the Phantom to reveal that, oh no, he's blonde! But now they did the makeup really good here. I love the additional saggy eye. In his fire of rage, he so conveniently, he cuts the rope to the chandelier right next to him. Who put that there? I don't run an opera house, but I don't think that's supposed to be there. Especially what we've seen before. And then he sets the theater on fire, snatches Christine away. Great plan, Raoul. Great plan. I love that part where you shot at him. I love it. It's like he disguised himself so well on stage, you couldn't even tell it was him. Make it stop, make it stop, make it stop, make it stop. He's just shouting at this point.
Your hand at the level of your eyes.
I'm not gonna lie, when I first heard the line, keep your hands at the level of your eyes, I imagined this, like you have to keep your hands, you have to look down at your hands the entire time because somehow the Phantom's gonna rise from the water and fuck with you, so you always have to look down. That's what I thought it meant, and it was so dumb. The Phantom dresses up Christine in bridal attire, and she tells him that she's finally not scared of the face he has, but the actions that he has control of. But before the Phantom can even take that into consideration, fucking Raoul pops up. Gee, thanks, bro. Like, we finally thought we were changing something in his mind. Raoul, wallow in blood. Always sings like he's out of breath, bro. I know he's standing in the booth, not moving at all when he sings. He's... They entirely get rid of the emphasis on the important words in the fucking song. I don't know why you adapted a fucking musical. And Raoul passionately pleads for Christine's freedom. Free her! Do what you like, only free her! I love her! I love her! Wow. What a passionate plea. You really love her, huh? Then the Phantom traps him, obviously. I don't know what you expected, and gives Christine the ultimatum of marrying him or Raoul dies. After seeing Raoul being tortured further, Christine pities the Phantom and decides to place a kiss on the Phantom, but instead of finally being happy of what he's wanted all along, he comes to the realization of her compassion and decides to set them free.
La 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 la.
Christine returns her ring to the Phantom and he watches them get away one more time. One more time, I'm just gonna watch you guys go off into the sunset while he destroys his lair before the police and the mob can get to him. But once they do, all they see that remains in the basement is a singular mask. We cut to the future where we started off from and see Raoul visiting Christine's grave and seeing a flower from the Phantom lay there. I know they regret doing this because this kills any chance of there being a sequel, which they did write a sequel for the play. I have not seen that yet, but if you guys want a video on that. As a movie, no thank you. Visually, wow, you fucking amazing. As a movie itself, with my ears and my intelligence, no thank you. Accuracy is like 2017, now, and so on. Universal was planning to make a remake. I mean another remake. Another remake, and then another remake. Another remake of The Phantom of the Opera. So more to explore and revive Universal's monster universe. The monster universe being like basically every monster movie you know. I'm talking like the absolute classics, Dracula, Frankenstein, Phantom of the Opera, good shits like that. And we recently saw this take launch with the remake of Nosferatu, and that's not out yet, so we'll see how that pans out. You know, Lily Rose Depp. And that was the wild world of Phantom of the Opera adaptations. Is this the best story to ever happen that we needed so many remakes? No. But does this make me like it any less? No. I'm allowed to like things that are not good. That does not take away my enjoyment. Just because I like things doesn't mean they're the best thing to ever happen. Except that movie. Thank you for watching, and maybe I'll see you next time. Bye!